Welcome vegans and not vegans. Welcome to my channel. My name is Epic Vegan Power here on YouTube, and I'm debunking meat eaters on the topic on their position. So the way I'm doing it is by asking questions. And you can see here I have posted a video. Piers Morgan gets destroyed by vegan Tash Peterson. And there's this guy, what's his name? Jay Summers, and he's going wild in the comments. And I took the time to chat with him to write back and forth and debunk his position by leading him to a contradiction. Yes, so it goes like this. You ask if he's okay to farm animals, and then he will say yes. And then you ask if he's okay to farm humans the way we farm animals, and he will say no, he's not okay with that. So it implies that there is a difference in moral value in treatment. So what's the trait difference? That's where the name comes from. Name the trait. So where's the trait difference between the cow and the human that makes it okay to farm the cow but not the human? So for all you out there who want to know what the trait is that he named, what the traits are possibly, yeah, you can name many traits if you want. No problem. I'll debate you on any trait you want to name. So he managed to name some traits, and we will see if he bites the bullet or if it leads to a contradiction. So either way, either you bite the bullet on eating humans and then you're just a psychopath, or you run into a contradiction and then you couldn't defend your position on eating animals. Okay, let's see. Let's dive in for the action. I challenge him to defend his position. So I challenge you to defend your position in a debate with me. And he agrees. Here they're saying, I'm prepared to debate you or any other vegan on the planet. And then he goes about rambling. So very important when you're debating someone, you have to stick to your line of questioning to debate the other person and not go into the tangents they're offering you. All this text is just useless, because he goes about that morals are a human consensus. Well, I'm challenging you to defend your own moral position. What? You see the first surprise here. My own moral position is that he has absolutely no moral issue with eating animals. Okay, we have established that he is okay with eating animals, as I predicted. So, and then I just explain here by asking you some questions. We can see if you can hold your position, or if I press him on that, if it just crumbles under pressure. So, what are you talking about? He says, ask a question then. And I'm asking away, do you have a moral issue with eating dogs? So I'm doing pet NTT, name the trait. I want to see if he sees a difference between a cow and a dog, and he says absolutely not. Ignore the rest, because he just here is changing the modalities. He's saying, whilst dog is not my favorite meat, I would eat it if needed. Okay, he's changing the modality. If in need, he would eat it, but that's not the question I'm asking. So we just stick with it. We assume that he is okay with farming dogs. So we gotta step up and we gotta do the ultimate entity. We gotta use humans. So I'm asking, do you see any moral issue with enslaving, farming, forcibly impregnating, killing, and eating human beings? So why am I phrasing it this way? Because otherwise he will say, if needed, he is going to eat humans, what he said in the sentence before. So I have to make it clear that we are putting the humans in the situations of the animals that we are farming. And then he goes on another tangent, then I'm conflating things, blah, blah, blah. He cannot answer my question. So are you willing to answer my question? We have to press it. Yes. So I've answered your question. He says I'm being disingenuous because I'm using fallacious argumentation. I'm just asking questions, obviously. So here he still can't name the trait. And finally, here, after pressing him again on the traits, he stated, the human species is the ultimate apex predator on Earth, mainly because, and here comes the trait, our superior intelligence and capacity for reason. So he's saying we are allowed to farm animals because we have superior intelligence and capacity for reason. Okay, so that are the traits that the cow is lacking as to be um, treated like the human, you know. So the cow is lacking intelligence and capacity for reason, so we can treat the cow like we treat the cow. Okay, and then it repeats the same text 3 times. I don't know why he pastes it so often. Then I'm asking again, just to be sure if those are the traits you want to choose. And he goes on another tangent. You can read it if you want. He's not answering the question. Are you willing to answering my simple question? He says he answered the question before, so at this point I have to assume that those are the traits. I just want to make clear one last time if those are really the traits. And uh, he can't answer it again. So I'm asking again, which is too much. I should have just went on with it. So that's what I'm doing here. I just say, okay, let's take your previous answer, which is those traits, lack of intelligence and lack of capacity for reason. Yeah, let's assume those are the traits he named. That's the trait difference. So here comes my next question. I haven't presented any argument until now. I've just presented questions, and we'll see if now he's going to bite the bullet or deliver a contradiction. So, would it be okay for you in your moral system, just to make sure that he's talking about his own morals, to farm humans whose intelligence and capacity for reason are at the same level of a cow's? Yeah, that means we're taking away the trait that makes it okay to farm cows. We're taking it away from the human. So now it should be okay to farm the human. So either he's biting the bullet on farming humans, or he's delivering a contradiction by saying, no, it's not okay to farm the human if he lacks the intelligence and the capacity for reason. And then we have a contradiction that says it is, and it is not the trait that allows for it. And here it comes. Ta-da! He says, I wouldn't eat a human who had the same cognitive levels of a cow. And then he's always adding something to it, but let's just ignore that in that case, because it would just make it more complicated, because now he's like trait swapping, you know. He's like, oh, but it's a human. Yeah, but he delivered the contradiction by saying he wouldn't eat the human of the same cognitive level, and let's assume also capacity or for reason. So it was the trait and it wasn't the trait. Contradiction. Congratulations, you have your first contradiction. Usually after 3 contradictions, I can stop the conversation, because the person is just jumping from contradiction to contradiction. And of course, he doesn't want to accept the contradiction. So I have to explain to him the contradiction, and then I'm asking him if he would like to name another trait. I could just also assume that his trait is humans, or maybe because we're superior, we could do like alien entity. So we have many options to go from there, but I'm just pressing on the contradiction. I'm saying you have managed to produce one contradiction so far, and he has failed. And then he goes on other tangents that, well, meat eaters are just superior and blah blah blah, but he couldn't defend his position. Obviously, it is impossible to defend the position as a meat eater. Either you're logically consistent and you have to bite the bullet on eating humans, or, well, you run into a contradiction and then your argument is just invalid. I hope you could follow. So far, you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I hope to have many more debates with non-vegans and just show them how it works, and hopefully just be curious of the process. Yeah, let me ask you the questions and just see where it leads you. I thought you were curious, curious for the process, and not just bombarding me with whatever tangents you're going on. Okay, well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one.